Imagine launching your business with rock solid asset protection, zero state taxes, and ironclad privacy. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, that's exactly what a Wyoming LLC offers. Whether you're a startup founder, real estate investor, or digital nomad, forming a limited liability company in Wyoming could be your ticket to a business friendly haven. But how does it stack up against other states like Delaware, Nevada, or Texas? Today, we're breaking down the benefits of Wyoming LLCs versus incorporating elsewhere, step by step, with all the practical info you need to make a smart choice. This is a no fuss guide, so we're getting right into the juicy details. So let's start with why Wyoming is a powerhouse for LLCs. Since pioneering the LLC structure in 1977, Wyoming has fine-tuned its laws to be the most business-friendly state in the U.S., topping the Tax Foundation's 2025 State Business Tax Climate Index for the 12th year running. It's a magnet for entrepreneurs, offering low costs, strong legal protections, and flexibility that other states struggle to match. But it's not just hype. Let's unpack the key advantages and compare them to states like Delaware, Nevada, Texas, and New Mexico. First up, taxes. Wyoming has no state income tax, no corporate tax, no franchise tax, and no personal income tax. This means your LLC pays zero state taxes on profits, unlike California's $800 minimum LLC tax or New York's high income rates. For example, a Wyoming LLC earning $100K keeps the full amount from state taxes, while a California LLC could owe $800 to $8,000 depending on revenue. Delaware and Nevada also skip state income taxes, but Delaware slaps a $300 annual franchise tax on LLCs, and Nevada's commerce tax hits businesses with over $4 million in gross revenue, starting at $400. Texas has no income tax, but charges a franchise tax of 0.75% on LLCs with over $2.47 million in revenue in 2025. Wyoming has none of these. If you're a non-resident, like a digital nomad abroad, Wyoming's pass-through taxation means profits flow to your personal return, taxed only where you live, potentially saving thousands. Pro tip, consult a tax pro to align your LLC with federal and home state obligations, as Wyoming's tax perks don't erase those. And by the way, MyLatinLife, we're a full-scale immigration and tax consultancy. We help people spin up these Wyoming LLCs. We have a service. There's a link in the description to our Wyoming LLC service. We help you get the EIN, open some bank accounts. And there's also a link to our personal calendar to book a call with us if you'd like to speak to us directly and get your personal questions answered as quickly as possible. Wyoming's LLC laws offer some of the strongest liability shields in the nation. The corporate veil ensures your personal assets, like your house or savings, are separate from business debts, except in cases of fraud. Wyoming extends this to single-member LLCs with robust charging order protection, meaning creditors can't seize your LLC's assets or force a sale. They're limited to quote, charging order on distributions, which you can control. Other states like Nevada have weaker protections for single-member LLCs, and California courts often pierce the corporate veil in litigation-friendly rulings. Delaware offers solid protection but requires more public disclosures, weakening its edge. Wyoming also supports series LLCs, letting you segregate assets like rental properties into separate child LLCs under one parent, each with its own liability shield. Okay, that's a series. States like Texas recognize series LLCs, but many like California don't, nullifying the benefit in court. Quick tip, maintain separate bank accounts and records to uphold Wyoming's liability protections. Privacy is another Wyoming standout. You don't have to list members or managers in public records. Only your registered agent's info is disclosed, keeping your identity off the radar. This anonymity is perfect for real estate investors or consultants worried about lawsuits. Wyoming requires more public disclosures, and New Mexico demands a list of members be kept with your agent accessible to the state. Nevada offers privacy, but charges for it. Posts on X highlight Wyoming's privacy as a go-to for crypto traders and asset protection, with no state info sharing with the IRS. However, federal beneficial ownership information reports, the BOI reports, are required by FinCEN. This is something that I think has been mandated, and then they took it away and they mandated it again. And it's the reporting to FinCEN for LLCs has been changing quite a bit in the past year. And the idea there is it would mandate disclosing owners for most LLCs, though Wyoming's state-level privacy remains unmatched. Pro tip, use a trusted registered agent. We use a really, really good one to maintain anonymity and handle legal docs. Cost and simplicity are where Wyoming shines. Delaware's flexibility suits complex businesses, but demands more paperwork, while Nevada's red tape grows with its fees. Wyoming is the most simple. They have this one called a Wyoming Close LLC, ideal for family businesses, which skips burdensome rules like mandatory meetings. Flexibility is another Wyoming perk. You can structure profit distribution any way you like. One member can own 10% but take 80% of the profits if the operating agreement allows. There's no limit on members, and non-residents, even non-US citizens, can form LLCs without setting foot in Wyoming. You can issue membership interests for cash, services, or property, unlike states with stricter capitalization rules. Wyoming's operating agreement is private and customizable, unlike Delaware's more rigid requirements. For non-residents, a Wyoming mail forwarding service can be used to give your LLC a local presence, quote unquote, without needing to live there. Posts on Twitter praise this for global entrepreneurs. We talk about this all the time. You can follow us at MyLatinLife on Twitter. And we're seeing this. We're seeing e-commerce people, global crypto traders, anyone with the online business moving assets to Wyoming LLCs for zero capital gains tax. Pro tip, craft a clear operating agreement to define roles and avoid disputes, even if not mandatory. Now, let's talk about the drawbacks versus other states. Well, Wyoming's small population limits its local market, unlike Texas or California, so it's less ideal for businesses that need a strong in-state presence. If you're making money online, maybe that's less relevant. But for an in-person business where you have that in-state presence, that's where it might tip the scale to go for a local LLC there. If your LLC operates physically elsewhere, like offices in California, you'll need to register as a foreign LLC there, facing local taxes and rules, which can negate Wyoming's tax perks. For example, California charges foreign LLCs its $800 minimum tax. Delaware's Court of Chancery offers unmatched legal precedent for disputes, making it in some ways better for large corporations or startups eyeing venture capital, while Wyoming's courts lack this depth. That has historically been the argument. Series LLCs face issues in states like California that don't recognize them, risking consolidated liability in lawsuits. Finally, Wyoming's privacy can draw IRS scrutiny if your LLC seems structured solely for tax avoidance, though proper compliance mitigates this. Quick tip, consult a lawyer if operating in multiple states to avoid double taxation or compliance traps. So, how do you form a Wyoming LLC? First, pick a unique name, ending in LLC or limited liability company. We tell our clients, give us the main name that you want and also a couple backup names as well, in case the name that you want has been taken already. And we check for availability on Wyoming's Secretary of State website. You will appoint a registered agent with a physical Wyoming address, no P.O. boxes. You'll file the articles of incorporation. You'll get an EIN from the IRS to open a bank account. By the way, we have another video on our channel explaining what an EIN is in more detail, which is still relevant to the non-residents, by the way. So if you're Canadian and you're looking at this, if you're from Europe and you're looking at this, check out our EIN video as well. You will need to know what that is. Draft an operating agreement, though it's not required, and file your first annual report. Non-residents might want an ITIN via IRS Form W-7 if they lack a social security number. We have another video on our channel about the ITIN, the ITIN. This is like a tax ID you can get as a non-US citizen. Processing is relatively fast. It is a multiple step process because you have to incorporate the LLC, then you have to get the EIN, and only then can you start getting some bank accounts. Pro tip, secure a matching domain name if you can for branding. So try to get the .com for whatever you incorporate as the name of your Wyoming LLC. Compared to other states, Wyoming's edge is clear for small businesses, solo entrepreneurs, and non-residents. Delaware suits complex corporations or maybe VC-backed startups due to its legal framework, but costs more. Nevada's high fees and gross receipts tax, outweigh its privacy benefits. Texas is cheap for locals, but lacks Wyoming's protection and privacy. New Mexico isn't the best. And if you're a consultant in New Jersey or a real estate investor in Florida, a Wyoming LLC with a holding company structure, owning operational LLCs in other states, can shield assets and cut taxes as long as you register foreign LLCs where you operate. People are raving about how Wyoming is awesome for e-commerce, making money online, crypto, due to its low costs and attorney-client privilege. So that's the complete guide to the benefits of Wyoming LLCs versus other states. From zero taxes to bulletproof privacy, Wyoming is a top choice for savvy entrepreneurs. My top takeaway, weigh your business's location and goals. Wyoming excels for privacy and cost, but needs foreign registration if you operate elsewhere. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite Wyoming LLC perk or business questions. And if you have a story about US LLCs, share it below in the comments. See you in the next video, and if you want to book a call with us, link in the description. Until next time.